23 coming down the mic. And your number is?
One of our very generous corporate donors is Mackenzie Financial, and a gentleman named Brad Hoffman heads up their foundation over there. And throughout this Deloitte process, I often found myself in need of a bit of advice. You know, hey, we're thinking about doing this, we're looking at that. And on a number of occasions, I was able to call upon Brad and just pick his brain. He's very well known, extremely well regarded within the not-for-profit sector in Canada, and he was an amazing resource for myself and Jane and Elaine over the course of this process. And he's very kindly offered to share a few thoughts with you folks tonight from his perspective on our organization. So Brad, please come on up.
Thanks very much, Terry. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. Corporations do support charities for a variety of reasons. Sometimes corporations are, of course, looking to associate their brand with something positive so that consumers will look more favorably at their company. Sometimes, of course, it's because the CEO's best golfing buddy is on the board of that charity. But the Mackenzie Financial Charitable Foundation has only two objectives. Objective number one, we are looking to create impact within the scope of our foundation's giving guidelines. For us, that means smaller charitable organizations who receive little or no government support, but who are doing highly impactful work, bettering the lives of children and families at high risk. Objective number two, we are looking to engage our employees by providing them with meaningful volunteer opportunities. We want our employees to love giving back so much that they want to make a career of it. That's it. Our foundation doesn't look to advance the Mackenzie brand or advance the philanthropic interests of key executives. There's nothing inherently wrong with those objectives. They're just not the objectives of our foundation. Again, our objectives are twofold: impact and employee engagement. There are other pieces that form part of the decision-making factor. We look for transparency, accountability, good governance, but frankly, the charitable sector is ripe with organizations doing wonderful, important work. So why is Jennifer Ashleigh one of our foundation's partners? Well, the answer actually lies in the question. It's because our relationship is a true partnership. We get out of it at least as much as we give. We've grown up together, our foundation and Jennifer Ashleigh, and our relationship is a product of it. When we highlight a partner in a charitable video, we choose you. When you look for someone to fund a new idea or a new project, you think of us. And I'm not saying Jennifer Ashleigh is right for all corporations and organizations. If you fund the environment or international development, it's not the right fit. But if you're looking to create true, meaningful impact, to find a charity which truly, genuinely values what you bring to the table and brings so much in return, an organization that's accountable, but most of all creating real, tangible impact in the lives of so many children and families, an organization that can single-handedly turn your entire workforce into a cadre of dedicated volunteers, well then Jennifer Ashleigh Children's Charity is just right for you. Thanks very much. Have a great night.
Thank you, Brad. Incredibly well put. So listen, my final piece is to try and find a way to thank all of you. Difficult task. Think about this for a second. You know, we are here because of you. We do what we do because of you. The parents you see in that video expressed what they expressed because of you. It's impossible to name all of you, but I wanted to offer a bit of a perspective. I know many of you are veterans of this event, and for those of you that were here a couple of years ago, you recall that the great Pinball Clemens spoke, and Mike has a mantra that I've gotten quite attached to. I do some work with him at his foundation and have the pleasure of spending some time there. He talks a lot about the concept of a hand up rather than a hand out. And think about that for a second, right? One three-letter word that gets switched with a two-letter word. Who in their lives, who amongst us hasn't gotten a hand up at some point? Perhaps when we were a child, a teacher took particular interest in us, we got better grades, maybe a coach who pushed us, we did a little better, we achieved more and developed greater confidence. Perhaps as an adult in business, you know, there was this target customer we really wanted to get to, and someone goes, hey, I'll broker a meeting for you. Or maybe in the course of an everyday life, all of a sudden circumstances are such that we're overwhelmed and a friend or neighbor puts an arm around us and says it's going to be okay. That's a hand up. That's really all that is. And those parents and families that you saw there, they end up in a set of circumstances through no fault of their own. It's not because of a bad choice they made. It's not because they're bad people. It's purely fate and circumstance that creates a dynamic where they have a seriously ill child to take care of. And I would venture to guess in a room this size, some of you have lived through that. You know the fears, you know the challenges, you know the risks. And if you haven't dealt with it directly, you probably have a friend or a colleague who does. Well, imagine adding to that now financial issues and financial burdens. That's what we're all about here at Jennifer Ashleigh. We're not here to judge. We're not here to criticize. We're here to help. And what we do is an extension of what you want to do. We are basically a conduit for you to do good in this world and to change the lives of people. And, you know, funny story, the lady that you saw a lot there with her son Nathan, Jane and Peg and I were down at TD Securities this week. They're launching their annual campaign, and Sukhvinder was kind enough to come down and speak. She was amazing, amazing speaker she was in video. Here we are on the floor of the TD Trading Center, and little Nathan, he has cerebral palsy, he's in his wheelchair, and he's rolling around, he's laughing, he's giggling. Millions of dollars are being traded all around him. This kid couldn't care less. He's pressing buttons. Thankfully, didn't press the emergency fire alarm button. But it's just amazing to see. Like, here's this woman who all you can do is admire. She's a single mom. Many of our families are single moms who loves her child dearly and wants nothing but to give him the best. And she can do that because of your generosity. So a thank you is probably not enough. Perhaps we can leave you with a thought. You know, we live in turbulent times. I'm sure there are moments when you have doubts. You know, you might ask yourself in the quietness of your own mind, what's it all about? You know, am I doing good? Am I making an impact? Over 750 families in Ontario have a better life because of you. So if you find yourself asking that question, think about Jennifer Ashleigh, think about what you've done, give yourself a little mental pat on the back, and recognize that you are changing this world one act of kindness at a time. So again, on behalf of everybody associated with this great cause, we're infinitely grateful for your support. We will continue to be good stewards of your money. We will continue to change our communities. We'll continue to do the things that you've chosen us to do.